أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this session, inshallah, we will discuss chapter 14. And chapter 14 looks at the Azan, the call to prayer, Al-Adhan. Al-Adhan. The Mu'adhin calls out the Adhan 5 times a day in the mosque. Muslims then get ready to offer Salah. The Azan reminds the Muslims that it is time for prayer. So in Muslim countries, when it's time for prayer, you will often hear the call to prayer being recited from the mosques in the street. Obviously in the UK we don't hear this, but it is recited before each of the 5 prayers. And the mu'adhin is the person who recites the adhan. So the adhan is the call to prayer, and the mu'adhin is the person who recites that call. Muslims then get ready to offer salah. The adhan reminds the Muslims that it is time for prayer. When you hear the adhan, you should prepare yourself for salah. You should leave aside as soon as possible whatever you may be doing at that time. So this is telling you, when you hear it, it's telling you that it's prayer time. And as we've mentioned before, we should seek to pray as soon as possible. When the prayer time starts, we shouldn't delay our prayers. So having that call tells us, okay, now we should prepare ourselves, make the intention, leave what we're doing, go make wudu, and then go to make prayers. The wording of the adhan is Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. So this is Allah is most great, Allah is most great. And then again, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allah is most great, Allah is most great. Ashhadu anna la ilaha illallah. I testify that there is no God but Allah. And then again, Ashhadu anna la ilaha illallah. I testify that there is no God but Allah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Testify that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. And again, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Testify that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Hayya ala salah. Hayya ala salah. Hasten to the prayer. Hasten to the prayer. Hayya ala al-falah. Hayya ala al-falah. Hasten to success. Hasten to success. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allah is most great, Allah is most great. La ilaha illallah. There is no God but Allah. So also when we hear the azan, it's good if we then recite along with the person calling the azan. So when we hear the muezzin say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, we then also say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. When he says Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, we then say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. So as he's reciting the adhan, we also recite the adhan with him. So it's worth learning the adhan, so you recognize it, but also so that you can say it with the mu'adhin when he's calling for prayer. So we're now going to complete some exercises. So exercise A is a fill in the blanks. So for question 1, the mu'adhin calls out the adhan 5 times a day. And the adhan is the call to prayer. Muslims then come together to offer salah or prayer. And number 2, when you hear the azan, you should prepare yourself for salah or prayer. Okay, part B. So part B is something you can do on your own at home, and that's to learn the wording of azan by heart, but I will recite it one more time for you so that you have heard it again. Okay, so Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu anna la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. Okay, and with that, we have finished chapter 14, and inshallah we will start chapter 15 in the next session. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.